Now from Capitol Hill, we welcome back House GOP Chief Deputy Whip Peter Roskam. And with me on set this evening, Dean Baker, co-director of the Center for Economic and Policy Research, and Hadley Heath, senior policy analyst with the Independent Women's Forum. Peter Roskam, let me get your first comment on Mitch McConnell's story, Senator McConnell's story. As a tax bill, Obamacare's defeat really would only require 51 votes, not 60. No filibuster.
Look, it's an interesting theory, and I think it's no secret that Republicans oppose Obamacare and have laid out alternatives, particularly House Republicans in the past. Look, Obamacare is losing the expectation battle. The Society of Actuaries came out with a study within the past couple of days that said nationwide by 2017, claims costs on average are going to jump 32%. In my home state, a jump of 50%. This is going from bad to worse, particularly if you look at the expectations that the president created when it passed.
There are so many higher costs developed here, so many higher taxes. I just read today they won't even have the tax credit for low-income people who are supposed to go on these new insurance plans and so forth. Could this thing collapse of its own weight, Mr. Roskam?
Oh, I think it could. There's a growing consensus on the Senate side against the medical device tax. They're recognizing the fungibility of capital, which you and I have talked about a lot on your show over the years, and the notion that somehow this is going to have an adverse impact, not just on innovation, but on job growth in the United States. And now you've got 18 Democratic senators that are stiff-arming one of the crown jewels, one of the funding crown jewels of the Obama plan, and that is the medical device tax. So you're going to continue to see these sorts of attempts to take what was a laudable goal, that was to try and bring costs down and deal with pre-existing conditions. Great goals, but all the hype, and remember the hype, you know, that you're going to be able to keep your dock.
I'm going to hold up, but I've got a much simpler way to do exactly that. But Dean Baker doesn't agree with me or any of this stuff. So, Dean, you're up. What's wrong with this story?
Well, I frankly love this story. As I was saying, I think it keeps the Republicans out of trouble. They'll be fighting over Obamacare. Look, they were making all these same claims, yelling about Medicare before it was instituted. Now, when they want to get rid of Medicare, they always begin by saying, what do you mean? We don't want to get rid of Medicare. It's a great system. We just want to modernize it. They'll be saying the same about Obamacare after it goes into effect.
Truly, now that's a political judgment. I got to quarrel with you on that. Without the analytic, this sounds like the Republicans are really going to make a run at it. They've been criticizing it. They got to pick up senators. I understand that in 2014. They got to do that. But let me go back to Peter Roskam before I go to Heather. Peter, will you be defunding in your Paul Ryan budget? Is Obamacare defunded? Or do you go about that?
Well, you go right at the medical device tax, you go right at the individual mandate, and these other elements that are around the edges. Look at the repeal of the 1099, for example, or how the Class Act is now regarded as an absurdity and something that's not sustainable. The greased chute of government, which created Obamacare, didn't go through a thoughtful process. Now, under scrutiny, becomes clearer and clearer. This has no ability to deliver a lower cost or a better product.
All right, Hadley Heath, how do you look at all this? There's a political dimension. They got to pick up a couple senators in the Senate. That's number one, Republicans. Number two, and this is the odd thing, as unpopular as Obamacare is, Mitt Romney couldn't really talk about it, right? Because he had Romneycare in Massachusetts. Now, do you agree or disagree with Dean? Dean says politically the Republicans are going to give up on this.
Politically, this should be right in the middle of the Republicans' wheelhouse. I mean, they've opposed Obamacare from day one. No Republicans voted for it. It would have been front and center in the 2012 campaign like it was in 2010 with a Republican landslide, only they ran Mitt Romney. Only two people in our country have ever mandated that people buy health insurance, Mitt Romney and Barack Obama. So when you run those two against each other, it doesn't present a real choice for the American people.
You know, Dean, let me just go back to you. 19,000 regulations, 20-some-odd taxes. As Mr. Roskam said, the medical device tax in the Senate looks like it's dead in the water. This thing could fall of its own weight.
No, it's not going to fall of its own weight. Just to be clear, medical device tax, I love the studies on that, but I wish I could print something like that, but people would tear me to shreds. These guys aren't going to move one job out of the country because it won't help them, because they have to pay it on the tax, on the item when it's sold. So that's not, if they're moving out of the country to escape the tax, you should sell their stock, because that's not really bright. But on top of that, the reason why they're having the taxes, the same thing with medical devices like prescription drugs. They're cheap to produce, and they're going to sell a lot more of them because of Obamacare. So this is just taking back the windfall. I know these guys hate to lose their windfalls. They love their windfalls. But a net loss to them at all.
Robert Costa, do you think this 2.5% tax on medical equipment will overturn the tax in the Senate when the time comes for an official bill? They've had one vote, but it wasn't binding. What happens in the second vote?
Look, I think that the 2.5% tax is incredibly substantive when it comes down to it. And 18 Senate Democrats are like-minded on this, joining with their Republican colleagues to say, move away from this thing. Remember, this is a tax on gross sales. So this is not some tax net, all at the bottom line. This is taxing the gross, which is why it's such an absurdity.
Robert Costa, will the Democrats stay with repealing that tax?
I think they're going to have to. They're feeling the pressure from the centrist Democrats to get rid of this tax because they're getting heat back home. But I'll tell you why Republicans love this issue, Larry, because it's about taxes. They want to sell it as a tax. They're selling the Senate Democrats' budget as a $1 trillion tax hike, and they're going to sell Obamacare in 2014 as a big tax and a big regulation package.
And speaking of 2014, I want to just raise quickly, these are the states that Senator McConnell mentioned in this article. West Virginia, now, I don't know, Joe Manchin, I think, is going to wind up voting against Obamacare. But West Virginia, North Carolina, Louisiana, Arkansas, South Dakota, and Alaska. Robert Costa, is that realistic, GOP pickups?
Very realistic, and then they're necessary GOP pickups. These are red state Democrats. These are states Republicans need to win. McConnell's zeroing in on them as targets because he knows Obamacare makes them nervous, and this is where they're vulnerable.
Hadley, is your group going to be active in these Senate races, or have you already started?
I think many groups are going to be active in these Senate races because let's not forget that these Senate Democrats are up for re-election are the ones that got in 2008, many of them, and 2008 was really an exceptional year.
All right. Dean Baker, I appeal to your higher senses here. All right? If I wanted health care coverage, which I think is a noble goal, then I would say give the tax break to the individuals and the families, not to the businesses. Let them make it refundable if it's a low-income person. Let them go out and find market competition, choose their own health care plan, interstate, so the insurance companies have to give up their monopolies. To me, give them the tax, let them shop around. It's just like going to a food store. That's how we should have solved this problem, nice and easy. Like Bill Clinton get rid of welfare, Obama could be a hero.
Larry, that didn't work, and that's why we have the government involved. We have this whole issue.
Where didn't it work?
The whole country, because people can't afford, insurers are not going to insure people who get sick. It's very simple. You get a healthy person, I never see a doctor. I hate doctors. They love to insure me. I'm just handing them a paycheck. But when you have someone who's got cancer, they don't want to touch them. They're going to charge them $100,000 a year.
They had state risk pools, 33 of them for that, which
there's
destroyed.
No way. You get back to the government then, Larry. You have to have mandates then. You have to regulate insurers and make them insure people they don't want to insure. And then you're back with the government. That's why we got Medicare.
I'm not against any government involvement.
Well, that's why we got Medicare, because seniors couldn't get health care.
The bulk of this thing, 20, 30, 40 million people. I mean, Peter Roskam, I'll give you the last word on this. You know what's going to happen here. Employers are going to dump all their people into the insurance pools, and the cost is going to skyrocket, the tax is going to skyrocket, and the administration is nowhere near prepared to cover this shortfall. I'll give you the last word, Mr. Roskam.
Look, I think you're right, and it's built on the foundation of Medicaid, which is a fundamentally flawed program. It puts 30 million new Americans into the functional equivalent of a Medicaid program, which is deeply flawed. And the remedies are in different directions, and this is going to collapse in on itself.
All right. We'll leave it there. Congressman Peter Roskam, we appreciate it very much. Robert Costa, your wisdom, too. Thank you. Coming up, folks, another milestone for stocks. Today, the